Well, hey there, Grace Point. My name is John Tabler. I'm the high school director here. Welcome to another of our Names of God series. We're so excited to continue to delve into these names, to these complexities of who God is together. Our word for today is Elohim Shama, which means the God who hears. Now, when we think about God, we think often about how he is the embodiment of grace, the embodiment of justice and love. And with those things, hearing us is such an important aspect of all of them, right? Without his ability and willingness and I would say eagerness to listen to us, to hear us genuinely, those things would not be as possible, right? Because we need to be able to express those things to him. Um, when we look at scripture, there are so many different ways that we get to communicate with God. We get to hear from God as well, but we also get to tell him our needs and our concerns and our wants. Scripture tells us in Romans, it says, "Likewise, the Spirit helps us in our weakness, for we do not know what to pray for as we ought, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words." That the Spirit intercedes for us is our joy and something that we are so privileged to take part in. That he hears us, that he knows us, and that through hearing us, he steps in, he intercedes for us. As we continue to explore the names of God, there are countless examples of God interceding and standing in the gap for us. And I love that, but he wants to hear from us in order to do that. It's not that it's required, it's that it's requested and it's loved. And it represents his love for us because he hears us and he wants to know us from our perspective, from our own words. He wants to know what we need, what we want, and how we express ourselves to him, and he listens when we do that. See, through this passage in Romans, we know that God listens. He hears us. And in prayer, we get to cry out to God, not just in sorrow, but in rejoicing. The God of the universe hears us. Do we really wrestle and reconcile with that fact? That the eternal God, this complex, perfect existence that is God, hears us in our brokenness, in our rejoicing, in our joy, in our fears. He is there and he hears us and he wants to be with us in that, in prayer, in worship, and just crying out to him in those moments. Again, in happiness, in joy, in fear, in stress. I hope today, as you go about your day, that you remember that God is the God who hears, the God who knows, and the God who loves.